This is section 2.6 part 3, where you are asked to approximate a best fit line. In the book they're asking you to approximate a best fit line, and they're showing you how to do it by hand. There's a large margin of error though when doing it by hand, so I'm going to show you how to get a more accurate line using a calculator. So we have the scenario. Alright, we know ordered pairs. The ordered pairs are going to give the height in feet of a young tree X years after 1995. We want to approximate the best fit line for the data. So we know X stands for the number of years after 1995 and Y stands for the height of the tree in feet. So we have our ordered pairs down here. Alright, and we have our X values. It's X comma Y. If X stands for the number of years from 1995, 0 years from 1995 is still going to put us in the year 1995. 1 year from 1995 is basically taking the base year 1995, add 1 to it, you're going to be in 1996. Base year 1995, add 2, that represents 1997. 3 years after 1995 is 1998. Then 1999, then year 2000, then year 2001. So 6 years after 1995, or 1995 plus 6, gets us to 2001. So you can see how the years are represented in numbers there. So you're going to need your calculator, your TI-83 or TI-84 calculator, and we're going to be working with these data points. Alright, so I'm going to minimize or change how this screen looks, so give me a second here. Okay. And I'm going to open up my calculator. So, get your calculator out, turn it on. I want to make sure I see all my data points. You're going to turn on your calculator. And we're going to input this data into our calculator. Alright, and so how you do that, you're going to hit the stat button. Stat stands for statistics, so we're doing a little bit of statistics here. So I'm going to hit stat, and under the edit screen, we're going to want to edit. So that means we're going to put the data into our calculator. So under the edit, hit enter, and you should have L1, L2, L3 in there. If they're empty, great. If they're not empty, so for example, don't put these points in, but if you do have points in your calculator, to clear them out, you're going to go all the way up here. You don't want to hit delete because it will delete your entire row. You want to hit clear. So hit clear, then hit down, all the data will disappear. And you still have your L1 and L2. So your L1s are your X values. So you want to go ahead and input all of your X values into your L1 spot. So my first X value is 0. So I'm going to hit 0, enter. The second X value is 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, all the way up to 6. So I want to make sure I have all of those in there. And these are my years from 1995. Once you get 0 through 6 in there, right arrow over, and you'll be in the second column, your L2 column, and these are all your Y values. So you want to put all your Y values in there. So I'm going to do 5.1, 6.4, 7.7, 9, 10.3, 11.6, and 12.9. And you should match up. Your last data point should be 6, 12.9. Once you do that, you're going to go back to your stat button. You're going to hit it again. And we're no longer going to be in the edit screen. We're going to want to arrow over to the calc screen. And we see all of these options. And we're going to want to go down to number 4. What we're going to be doing is linear regression, linreg. And we're going to take AX plus B. So in statistics, instead of having mx plus b, m is represented as a. That's the formula used in statistics. So you're going to hit enter, and you should see X list, which is your L1, Y list is your L2. If it's different, you're going to want to change it. So how do you change it? If you notice above the 1 in blue, there's a little L1, little L2, little L3 here. So to access that, you hit the second button. So I'm going to hit second L1, and that changed from L1 to L1, which is wrong. All right, I'm just doing that to show you how to change it in case you need to. Your X list should read L1. Your Y list should read L2. So I'm going to make sure L1 is highlighted here. And I'm going to change it from L1. I'm going to hit second 2, and it changes it to L2 because my L2s are my Ys. Then I'm going to arrow down to calculate, and I'm going to hit enter. And as I hit enter, you see the equation y equals ax plus b, and it gives you a value of a. So you want to input the value of 1.3 in for a. So y equals 1.3x plus, and then input the value for b, which is 5.1. And there's your equation for the best fit line, all right, which goes right through these data points. Now what does that mean? Rather than graphing by hand, I will show you. Okay, so next, all right, still follow along. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my statistical plots. All right, I'm going to see a little scatter plot of all these data points. All right, since we're working with scatter plots, so I'm going to hit second y equals, and I have a screen here, and we can see my first plot is off. I want to turn it on. So I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to make sure it's on. And here I've got my scatter plot. All right, it's already chosen. If you have something else highlighted, you can use your down arrow to access them. So say you had this one highlighted, all right, or any one of these options highlighted, you're going to want to choose this option. So you arrow down. Wherever it's blinking, hit enter, and it will change the highlighted portion. You want to make sure your X list is L1, Y list is L2, and you change those the exact same way we did before by hitting second 2 for L2 or second 1 for L1. And the markers will just show you how your data points look. All right, I don't care which one of these you choose. I'm going to arrow down, and I'm going to choose the plus button. So I'm going to hit enter. Okay. Once you are ready, you're going to want to see a picture of your scatter plot. So you're going to hit zoom, arrow up. Oh, no, I've got different than my calculator. We're going to arrow down. If arrowing up may have worked for you. I want to arrow down to number 9, zoom stat. So it's going to zoom in to my statistical plot, which is my scatter plot. And I'm going to hit enter. And you can see the scatter plot looks very linear. All right, it may not be exactly linear though. That's why we're going to have a best fit line, and the best fit line will pass through these points as closely as it can. All right, and it's going to try and cut them right in half. So I want to see what my best fit line looks like. So I'm going to take the equation that we wrote, and I'm going to input it into my calculator into y equals. I'm going to go down, and at y1, I'm going to put in 1.3x plus 5.1. And then I'm going to hit zoom 9 for zoom stat. And you can see it draws a best fit line that passes through most of those points. It actually looks like it hits each of them because they're so tight together. All right, so if we had to say what the correlation for this is, we probably would say it's pretty close to r equals 1 because it's positive and it's pretty much in a straight line. So we've got a nice equation here. So I'm going to come back to our problem. All right, we're going to lose the calculator for a second. And now down here it says estimate the height of the tree in 2015. How tall will the tree be in 2015? Well, we need to find what value of x represents 2015. We know 6 represents 2001. We know 0 represents 1995. So to find out the value, I'm going to take the ending year, all right, which is 2015, and I'm going to subtract it from the starting year of 1995. And we're going to get 20. And this is how you find x. So we know x equals 20. So to estimate the height of the tree in 2015, we know the height is represented by y. I simply come up to this equation that we have and plug in the value of 20 for x. So the equation is y equals 1.3x plus 5.1. I'm going to plug in the value of x, which is 20, into the equation, 5.1. All right, and then we're going to evaluate, and we're going to say 1.3 times 20. That's going to give us 26 plus 5.1. And then 26 plus 5.1 gives us 31.1. And we know y is measured in feet because it told us in the beginning part of the word problem. So that is how you use technology to get your best fit line. All right, we got a visual of what the best fit line looked like. And then you can use your equation of best fit line, all right, to estimate what, in this case, height, all right, in a future year in this case. So we can use the best fit line equation to make some approximation or estimation. That's that.